What is up today, 49ers faithful? Drew Kerr here, host of 49ers Sports Talk. Today I'm going to be going over the state of the offensive line. Stay tuned. Okay, today we're going to be covering four different related topics to the offensive line. The first is going to be the current roster, who's currently on the roster, how they're going to fit, what their role might be, if they will even be here. The second topic is going to be PFF's rankings of last year, a quote from PFF itself. And then third, we're going to be going over individual PFF rankings of the current offensive line. And number four, we are going to be going over rookie and free agent options. So the list I'm going to be using is the reference I'm using is Our Lads. A lot of people, are familiar with that. They have depth charts for all 32 teams. So that's kind of what I'm going to be looking at as I kind of go over the roster. And right now it's kind of slim pickings. In terms of starters, there's Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, and Colton McKivitz. The depth doesn't get great. Jalen Moore, he's marginally talented swing tackle. Then we have Brock Purdy's roommate, Nick Zakelj. I can never say his name correctly. Then Corey Luciano is the backup center. And then Matt Pryor is leaving via free agency. Ben Barch, that came over from Jacksonville, will be leaving free agency. Behind Jalen Moore is Isaac Alacron. And then Sebastian Gutierrez. So that's it. That is currently who is on the roster. The Niners are going to definitely need to beef up this offensive line if they're going to make any kind of run at another Super Bowl championship game, anything like that. Purdy was pressured very, very much last year, so they're definitely going to need to do a good job at bringing in free agents and rookies. The number two thing that I'll be going over is the PFF ranking from last year. The 49ers ranked 23rd and were one of the worst pass blocking teams in terms of efficiency in the entire NFL. I'm going to read this quote from PFF. This was just as the season ended. It says, the 49ers might have arguably the best offensive lineman in the NFL in left tackle Trent Williams, who is once again the highest graded left tackle in the league this season. In addition, John Feliciano has been a pleasant surprise. However, the rest of the line can be considered to be a liability, especially in pass protection, making it key for the 49ers to not fall behind in a game. The San Francisco offensive line ranks just 23rd in the NFL this season in PFF's pass blocking efficiency rating. Another related topic to that was Brock Purdy was pressured 3% more last season than all other MVP candidates. So the pass blocking has got to get better. It was bottom third of the league. It was pretty atrocious. Brock Purdy, in spite of all the pressure in his face, still maintained his cool and was one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. Moving right along into individual PFF rankings, as the article mentioned, Trent Williams was the highest rated left tackle in the entire NFL at 89.7. A lot of people think this is going to be his last season. The 49ers have had phenomenal left tackle play since 2007 when Joe Staley was drafted. That's 16 years of elite left tackle play. And so when Trent Williams moves on, who's going to replace him? Are the Niners going to try and do this through free agency? Are they going to try to draft Trent Williams' replacement this year and groom him? It's going to be really interesting to see how they attack that and keep Brock Purdy's blind side clear. Left guard Aaron Banks was very unimpressive. His score was 54.9. He does do a lot better in the run game, but his pass blocking leaves a lot to be desired. Jake Brendel, 63.9. And the right guard position went kind of back and forth between Burford and Feliciano. Feliciano kind of overtook him, as you know, later in the year. But he was playing at an elite level as well in both the run and pass. His grade was 81.2. And then right tackle Colton McKivitz was 65.1, which is pretty much just average. It's not great. He was better in pass protection than Mike McGlinchey, but he was very streaky, and he could have bad games and down games, and elite pass rushers were definitely getting the better of him. Spencer Burford, probably like most of you, I'm still not over that missed block on Chris Jones in the Super Bowl. Who knows what would have happened if he makes that block or at least gets in the way. We can't live in the world of what ifs, but obviously getting untouched and unevaded to the quarterback didn't help. So I'm not a huge fan of Burford. His grade was 50.4. Out of all the starters, it was the lowest. So the 49ers definitely need to get stronger at that right guard position via free agency, via the draft, and hopefully they can find somebody. The number one priority to me, in my mind, is to sign John Feliciano back. If he's playing at elite level, you don't want to lose that. So that's priority number one for me, in my mind. Maybe get a guy that's going to be able to swing back and forth between Brendel, a center guard type guy, to back them up for depth, and maybe just move on from Burford. I don't, trade him, cut him, release him, maybe have him as a third option, maybe try him on the left side. I don't know, but he wasn't it for me, in my mind. Okay, and fourth, I'm going to go over some of the top free agent veterans out there for the 49ers to consider, and then I'll jump into some of the rookies that I think that they maybe should look at and kick tires on, and just hope for the best, I guess. With the rookies, it's a crapshoot. You never know what you're going to get. But, with free agents, you've seen the film, you know what they can do, and so you have an established line. Maybe the Niners can figure out a way to put the puzzle together and figure out the financials on that and get some free agents. So I'm going to jump in. The top three tackles available are Charles Leno from Washington. His PFF grade was 72.5 last season. He is a little bit older. He's 32. And then Tyron Smith from Dallas, again, a little bit older, age 33, but last year he had an elite an elite PFF grade of 83.8. Andrus Peat, age 30, a little bit younger than the other guys. He can actually swing between tackle and guard, and his PFF grade was pretty average, 60.2, a little bit below average maybe. So the free agent options aren't great at tackle. There might be some younger guys in there that I'm unaware of that might be good fits, and you guys can feel free to drop those in the comments. Top three guards available. Like I said, Andrus Peat, longtime veteran. He can move between tackle and guard, so I listed him there as well. Kevin Zeitler, a little bit older. From the Ravens, his PFF grade was 69.3. He is 33 years old, so he's getting, he's a little bit older. And then Connor Williams is an intriguing option from the Dolphins. His PFF grade was 86.5, and he's only 26. Top three centers available. Connor Williams can also go back and forth between guard and center. So elite talent there. Brian Allen from the Rams, 69.2, a little above average, but he is a little bit younger at 28. And then Andre James from the Las Vegas Raiders, 74.6, player that has been getting better as his career's gone on, and he is only age 26. So taking a look at the rookies, the top five tackles are obviously Joe Alt's number one. He's probably going to go top five without question. I think he's going to go top five. Then Talais Fuaga, Oregon State. He's my draft crush. If somehow he falls and the Niners can jump up and get him, I really hope they swing for the fences on that. He reminds me a lot of Penei Sewell, and if the 49ers can get somebody like that on the right side, I think the sky's the limit with that. So the next one in line is J.C. Latham out of Alabama. I think his draft range is 10 to 20, so I think the 49ers would need to move up also from 31 to get him. Amarius Mims from Georgia doesn't have a whole lot of experience, a lot of game experience, and that worries me with him. He's prototypical size. He played for a championship team a couple seasons removed. I think his range is probably somewhere between 10 and 25 just from, going to UGA. I think that there's going to be somebody that tries to take a flyer on him. And then Tyler Guyton out of Oklahoma. Kind of the same thing as Mims, a little bit more experience. Probably more of a run blocker than a pass blocker. I think his range is 15 to 32. He could slide into the second round, but it would be early second round. And then on to guards. Troy I have a hard time with these Polynesian names sometimes. Fauatanu, I think is how it's pronounced. He went to UW, and I think his range is probably 20 to 32. Guards aren't often taken very high in the draft unless they're just an absolute, home run. So I think, late he might be available. That might be somebody that the 49ers look to grab with the 31st pick. A guard to, if they're not going to re-sign John Feliciano, a guard to replace him. And then Christian Haynes out of UConn, I think he's a second rounder. That might be a good option for the Niners with their second pick. Christian Mahogany out of Boston College, also probably a second rounder. Some centers, the top three centers, I really like this Jackson Powers Johnson kid out of Oregon. I think he's going to be a fringe first rounder. If the Niners want somebody who can maybe play on the right side, play right guard until Jake Brendel's contract is up and then slide him over to center, I think that's a possibility. And then Graham Barton out of Duke, he's also a center guard combo, second rounder, possibly third rounder. And then Zach Frazier out of West Virginia University, second, third rounder, I believe, there as well. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up today's video. Just wanted to thank you for being here. Please like and subscribe. It will help the channel grow, and that means a lot to me. So I really would appreciate it, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I will see you next time. Take care.